Hello students, today we are going to learn a folk tale. Folk tale means such stories that passed on from one generation to another and contains a moral in it. The folk tale which we are going to learn today is Aina-kizz and the Black Bearded Boy, written by James Riordan. James Riordan lifespan was from 1936 to 2012. He grew up in Portsmouth during World War II. After school, he was a barman, waiter, railway clerk, commercial salesman, and dance band musician. During his national service in the RAF, he learned Russian and went on to become professor of Russian studies at Surrey University. Besides novels, he has written folktale collections, picture books, and has over 20 academic publications. Let's start the story. Aina-kizz and the Black Bearded Boy. Children sometimes are cleverer than older people. In this folk tale from Central Asia, we see how a 9-year-old girl uses her intelligence to outwit the cunning boy. How does she do it? Students, this folk tale belongs to Central Asia. It tells how a young girl who was only of 9 years old uses her intelligence to outwit a wicked and cunning boy who cheated her father. Means how she uses her intelligence to beat an evil person. Cunning means very clever. Wicked means that evil person who cheated her father. So now we will continue with the reading of our story and we will find out what exactly happens. See, there was once a young girl who lived with her father, a woodcutter. Their home was a tumble-down shack and a gap-toothed axe was the only tool they owned. A lame old horse and mule were their transport. Students, once there was a young girl. She lived with her father who was a woodcutter. They were very poor, living in a old small building and their condition was also not good. They have an old axe as the father was a woodcutter, so as a tool he was having an old axe and a weak old horse and a mule who helped them in transportation. Mule means maybe you all are aware of the word खच्चर. खच्चर को इंग्लिश में mule बोलते हैं. Next. But as wise folks say, a rich family's fortune is in its herds, a poor family's in its children. And true enough, whenever the old woodcutter gazed means looked upon his daughter, who was only 9, he forgot all his cares and woes. Woes means worry, tension, and all. The girl's name was Aina-kizz, and she was so clever that people came from miles around to ask her advice. Here the writer says that there is an old saying. Saying means कहा जाता है ऐसा that a poor family future lies in the hands of its children. And it is true also, as woodcutter's daughter, whose name was Aina-kizz, was so clever and intelligent that peoples from distance come to take her advice to solve their problem. It is surprising as the girl was only of 9 years, isn't it? That's why the writer says sometimes children are more cleverer than older people. That you will find in this story. Let's continue. One day the woodcutter loaded his horse with a pile of logs. Pile means लकड़ियों का गट्ठा, बहुत सारी लकड़ियां एक साथ. Logs means wood pieces. And told the girl, I am going to the market and will be home by dusk. Dusk means in the evening. If I sell my logs just now I told you means wooden pieces. Na? I will bring you a little present. So one day woodcutter told his daughter that he is going to sell the wood pieces in market and will came back by evening. And if all woods will be sold, then he will bring some gift for her daughter. After hearing this, she was very happy. Next. May good luck be with you, father, she replied. The woodcutter went on his way, arriving on time at the bazaar. He stood to one side and waited for buyers for his wood. But no one came. Finally, a rich buyer came strutting through the market. Strutting means walking proudly. Means he was a rich person, that's why his walking is quite different as compared to general person. Showing off his silk robe. Silk robe means the gown which they used to wear. And stroking his black beard. Stroking means moving the hands through his black beard. Catching sight of the poor man and his wood-laden horse, he called, "Hey, old fellow, how much do you want for your logs?" "A single tanga, sir." Here, in this para, when the woodcutter told his daughter that he will go to market to sell, the girl wished him good luck. The woodcutter reached to market and he was waiting for the buyer. After some time, a rich black-bearded buyer he came and asked him about the cost of the wood pieces. And he replied, "A single tanga." Tanga means rupee. Okay. In that place, they use tanga and not rupees. Next, "Will you sell your wood exactly as it is?" the buyer asked with a sly grin. Sly grin means wicked smile. Means he was thinking something and he was smiling and asking the question. He asked to the woodcutter that is if he is going to sell the wood exactly as it is. The woodman nodded slowly, unsure of what he meant. Nodded means moving the head up and down, saying yes or no. Okay. "Here is your coin," said the buyer. "Bring your horse and follow me." So after knowing the amount, buyer asked the woodcutter cleverly that whether he will sell the wood exactly as it is. Hearing this, the woodcutter got quite confused, but then he agreed, "Yes, sir, I am going to give you the wood exactly as it is." Then the buyer gave him the coin and asked him to follow with his horse to the place where he have to leave all these wood pieces. Okay. Next. When they came to the buyer's big house, the poor man went to unpack the logs from the horse's back. But the buyer shouted in his ear, "Stop! I bought the wood exactly as it is," which means the horse belongs to me, since it is carrying the wood. If you are not happy with this, we will go to the judge to decide. So, when they reached to buyer's house, the woodcutter started to unpack the wood pieces from the horse back. But at the same time, the buyer stopped him and told him that the horse belonged to him only, as he bought the wood pieces exactly as it is. So I hope you understood. It means जब वुड कटर लकड़ियों को घोड़े से अलग कर रहा था, निकाल के रख रहा था, तब बाय ने उसे रोका और उसको बोला कि उसने लकड़ियों को जैसा था वैसा लिया है, मतलब घोड़े के ऊपर थी इसलिए घोड़े के साथ उसने उसे खरीदा है, तो घोड़ा भी उसका हुआ. And he asked the woodcutter if he is having any objection, then we will go to settle the problem to the court. Okay. Now, as wise folks say, just as a bad master can turn a steed into a useless nag, steed means a useful horse, into a useless nag means the one which is not going to be of any use. Okay, so a bad judge can turn right to wrong, and so it was. Having heard the two complaints, the judge stroked his beard, glanced at the buy's silk, glanced means looked at the buy's silk robe, and gave his verdict. Verdict means judgment. The woodcutter had got what he deserved. It served him right for agreeing to the terms. Writer says that there is a saying, means फिर से ऐसा कहा जाता है that a bad trainer can convert a good horse into a useless one. Similarly, a wrong judge can turn right into wrong. And exactly that happened here. When the woodcutter and the buyer reached to the court, After listening everything, the judge thought that the boy is the rich one, so he will get some advantage from him. That's why he gave his judgment in the favor of boy. Then what happened? Let's see. The rich man laughed in the woodcutter's face, and he, poor man, trudged wearily home to tell his tale to Aina-kizz. Never mind, father, tomorrow I will go to the market, she said. Who knows, I may be luckier than you. Next day at dawn means early morning, she loaded up the mule with logs and made her way to the bazaar. There she stood beside the mule until the same boy approached her. So, after this partiality done by the judge, then poor woodcutter was not having any option. So he came back home and told whatever happened to his daughter. Aina told her father not to worry and decided that on the next day she will go to sell the wood. And early morning, with her loaded mule, she reached to market and waiting there for the same boy to come. Then, hey girl, how much do you want for your wood? He called. 2 tangas, she replied. And will you trade it exactly as it is? He said. Certainly, she replied, if you pay the money exactly as it is. Sure, said the boy, holding out his hand to show her 2 gold coins. Follow me. The same thing happened to her as to her father. But she did not mind, as the boy smilingly paid her 2 coins. She stood her ground. She stood her ground means she was stick to her words, whatever was her demand. So here finally her wait came to end and the boy came and asked her for the amount of wood. She told 2 tangas and again the boy said the same that she will sell the wood exactly as it is. Understood? Students, exactly as it is means jaisa hai waisi. But this time the girl replied, yes, I will sell you the wood exactly as it is, but you have to pay money exactly as it is. Bai said okay and should showed her 2 gold coins, then asked her to follow him as he had done with her father. Same he is doing now. They reached the place and then she firmly asked the boy for her money. Let's continue. Sir, she said, you bought my wood as it is, and you have my mule together with the wood. But you gave your word to pay the price exactly as it is. So now I want your arm as well. The boy was taken aback. His beard shook with rage as he cursed her. Rage means anger. Cursing means she started saying bad words to her. But she did not yield. At last, they set off together to the judge. So, what happened here? When the boy was giving gold to paying the amount to the girl, Aina-kizz, she said, "Sir, you bought my wood exactly as it is, means with my mule also. But you have to keep your words also, means you have to keep your promise. You told me that you will pay the gold to me exactly as it is. So it means now I want your arm as well. Means the boy have to give his arm also with the gold coin. On hearing this, the boy got angry and started shouting. But the girl was still very firm on her words, on her decision. Then they again, both of them decided to go to visit the judge for their final decision. He heard the complaint, yet this time he could not help the boy. He had to pay 2 tangas for the wood and another 50 for his arm. When they reached to judge heard the complaint, but this time he was unable to take the side of the boy. So he gave judgment as that boy have to pay 2 tangas for wood and 50 more coins for his arm. Means this time the decision was completely in favor of Aina. So students, I am going to stop over here. We will continue in the